Calm, which is through the Calm app. This is what I do at the beginning of class with my students, because we're departmentalized. It's 5th grade, but it's departmentalized, so we rotate through classes every 70 minutes. So they come in all blah, and so we take 90 seconds. And is it like 110 in here? Because, is there a way to shut that off or okay.
So you teach all subjects 5th grade?
I teach history and writing.
Okay.
So now, here's the thing. I don't have a speaker. That's the only thing. Oh, is it? I don't even know how to do that.
Oh, well, I don't either.
That's all right. I'll just do it. Hey, you know what? I'll tell you when time's up. How about that? Yeah, here.
Oh, look at all the, look at who's over there.
Here.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, wait. Martin. What's wrong with you? Okay, 1 second. Totally forgot this. This is really important. So, before we do this 90 seconds of calm, I want you to grab hold of one of your fingers. Doesn't matter which one, just, grab it like this. Okay? And then when she says, it's kind of in the middle, 45 seconds in, she says something. Full breath, something like that. Switch to the other hand. So you're going to go like 45 seconds here, and then whichever hand, whichever finger. Okay? And then I'll come back to that. All right, I'm hyped up. Sorry. Very good. Cough.
Welcome to this Take 90 practice. Start by finding a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Then we'll take a few moments to calm your mind and body. Soften your face, your neck, and shoulders. Do your best to fully let go and relax. And turn your attention to the breath, the calming breath, the soothing breath. Take long, slow breath, full and deep. Breathing in, I am calm. Breathing out, I'm at peace.
All right. Thank you for that. I'll come back to the fingers in a minute, what that's all about. So that's through Calmly, yeah. And I think the last presenter, can't remember her name. Lauren. Oh, she's right there. Lauren said that Calm used to be free. I got in on that free thing too before they shut it down. A friend of mine, a colleague, just got up and they gave her like 40% off, so you might, you can get a pretty good discount anyway. If you're,
Whoever that woman was.
yeah, okay, Shin Jyutsu. Any information provided? Go to the hospital if you need to. Okay, if you need to see a doctor, please do that, because it's not a replacement for medical treatment. What is Shin Jyutsu, right? Question I get when I say, hi, my name's Kate, I'm a Shin Jyutsu practitioner. This is what I get. Right? Yeah. And I have to go, no. The wrong type of art. That's a martial art. This is a healing art. And it's actually a ancient oriental harmonizing art. Kind of like acupuncture, but without needles, right? I don't like those either. So it's a harmonizing art which utilizes simple hands-on sequences to balance our life energy, restore equilibrium, relieve pain, and release the causes, not just the symptoms, but the causes of acute and chronic emotional, physical, and spiritual needs that we have. A little bit about the history, I don't want to spend too much time on it. There's Jerome Marai. He was, you can see when he lived there, he was, his dad was a physician, his granddad was a physician. He broke from family tradition and became a silkworm breeder. Don't know why, but. And he was also a competitive eater, whatever that looks like in Japan in the 1800s. So he got very sick, and actually at 26 he was given a terminal label. And he told his family, just take me up to the family cabin, come retrieve my body after 7 days. And during those 7 days, he fasted, meditated, prayed, etc., and worked with his hands, mudras. And when his family came to retrieve the body, he met them on the road and was healthy and well. There's a lot more to that history, which you can find at the Home Office website, jsjinc.net. In the 40s, 1940 something, he met Mary in Japan, and he said, would you like to take this gift back to the United States? And she said yes, because when he was healed, he began a study of energy and how it moves through the body and what happened there. Why did I walk down and meet my family when I should have been dead, you know? So he worked with cadavers and dead cows and homeless people, and he just did all this study and work of energy, and then trained Mary, and Mary is the one who brought it to the United States. Now it's a global, it's really happening everywhere in the world. Shin Jyutsu. It's becoming more popular. She passed in 2008. All right, real quick on the philosophy. We all have energy going through our bodies, right? So it goes up the back, down the front, goes down the front of the center of our body, down the left side, down the right side. Then there's a line that mediates the left and right sides. So you have all this energy moving all the time. You can imagine, if you think about this energy as a river, right? We get this main line of energy coming down the center of your body. If that gets stuck in some way, then what's going to happen to all the tributaries, right? They're all going to be blocked and not flowing properly. And that's when we get things from headaches to more serious illnesses or indigestion or the scary labels like cancer and so forth, things like that. There are two tools in JSJ, just like an artist has a paintbrush, right? So this art has two tools. One is the breath. And I'm not going to spend too much time on the breath because you all, that's like preaching to the choir right now, right? You all know about that. I love Mary's quote, though, with every breath, I am new. And in JSJ, they talk about receiving breath, which I liked, right? Instead of taking a breath, right? And receiving a breath from the universal harmonizing energy. I found this quote the other day, which I love, because I was reading an article on breathing. You can't read anything else this gentleman wrote because it's all in French. But he wrote an article for Scientific America, and he said, breathing is like solar energy for powering relaxation. I love that. That was great. I thought that was a great quote. And here's what I love about this, and I love about JSJ. This is what I love about the breathing of mindfulness in JSJ. It's free. It's always accessible. Every student that you encounter has access to the art, to the healing art of Shin Jyutsu, and also mindfulness, right? If they know what they're doing. So the second tool is our hands, and that's where we spend most of our time today. You all have hands. We have hands, and if somebody actually doesn't actually physically have a hand, the energy is still present there. So this is something students can't take us home with them, right? They can't take their counselor, the social worker, but they can always they have their hands. So, what I want you to do is actually trace out your hand somewhere on a piece of paper. While you're doing that, if you need paper, I've got some floating around here. I'm going to hand this other thing out to you, but don't look at it just yet. Here. You need some real paper. Or you can just
That's interesting.
Yes, I know you do. Now, just hand them right. Is the yellow pad going around?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I have another one somewhere that's stuck.
We need some of those.
Okay. Does anyone just need like yellow paper? All right. Don't take those right away. Actually, turn them over. Here, kind of. I'll turn these over. Yeah. I should have had somebody else do this.
Now that you're done.
I think I missed the whole section over here. I've got more if we need them. All right. So our hands. All right. Mary said, "My destiny is in my own hands." Don't you love that? My destiny is in my own hands. Literally in this case. All right. So we have our hands, right? You ready to write on it? Okay. Our thumbs. Shout six. So, I don't know, when we did the 90 seconds, did anyone hold their thumb? That they felt like? Okay, so, it doesn't mean that you were necessarily worried about anything, but that's kind of a natural a way to harmonize the emotion of worry. You can hold your thumbs. Think about a kid, right? What are they doing? Sucking their thumbs, right? Because their bodies already know what they need. And if you're worried about something, I tell my students is, I even had in 5th grade some thumb suckers, right? And I just tell them, hey, you can get the same effect just by doing this. Nobody has to know, right? Nobody knows you're worried, but you're just holding your thumb. Nobody has to see that. So it's not embarrassing, right? It's accessible to everyone. You like my little critter there?
I do.
Fear. Anyone hold their index finger today? Okay. So it doesn't mean necessarily that you're afraid of anything, but just so you know, for future reference, when I go to the dentist, I hold both of those because I don't know what it is, but I can.
You run out of fingers to hold.
It's one of those two. All right, this one you're going to know right away. Middle finger. Yeah. So I tell my students, don't give somebody the middle finger, just hold your middle finger. Hold your middle finger.
It's interesting.
Yeah. I held mine up here when I did the 90 seconds. So I have finger things going on, I'm sure. But, ring finger, of course. Sadness or grief, either one. Now, what we're going to learn later is that the fingers do a lot more than just this. This is just sort of to deal with those main emotions, right? So, I've got so much to say. And the last, let me get through this though first. Putting on the happy face, pretense, right? Everything's great, it's wonderful, but you're really not, right? Just gonna hold that. Okay, we're going to add some more things to your picture later. But this I want to say, I was teaching my students, hey, these are, and I have it on my board, and they know what to hold if they're feeling certain things. And one day this girl came in, and she just sat down. She's like, holding her middle finger. Like, well, I can see, okay. So I called her, an open conversation, right? I called her into the hallway and said, hey, after everyone was working or whatever, what's going on? What's happening? An open conversation. And then I could help her repair something that happened with her and her friend because she was so angry about it. She wanted me to see that she was holding that middle finger. So, you know, you just ask them, hey, whatever finger are you feeling like today? And then, you just kind of gauge the room and see what's happening. You never know. Okay, now we'll come back to this, not this exact slide, but some of these numbers and things. When Juro worked to bring harmony to his body, he just had his hands, right? So we have, you can work with headaches, toothaches, eye strain, dry cough, emotional needs like letting go of things that you need to let go of, bringing laughter back into your life, that kind of thing. All of that can be harmonized right here with these hands. And we'll come back to that. All right. We're going to take a little pause here and talk about the main central. That's the main river of energy that flows down the center of your body, right? So the main central vertical harmonizing energy sequence is the self-care piece that you were talking about. Because teachers need this, right? We need to take care of ourselves. And so, really quickly, I had a former colleague of mine call me up and said, hey, my daughter's in town. It was around the holiday last year. 30-something-year-old daughter, you know. She's been really sick. Can you help her? And I said, well, I don't know, but bring her on over. We'll see what happens. You know. So I treated her and did a Shin Jyutsu treatment on her. And I said, you know, I'm really glad you came today, but if you really want to see change, if you really want to see anything move, you're going to want to do this every day. And I told her I showed her how to do it. I'm going to show you. And I said, do it every day for 30 days, and then I'll call you on the phone. And get this book, which I'll pass around, The Touch of Healing, which you can get on Amazon used if you're not opposed to that kind of thing. Used for like $7. Okay. This is like the, I think, so Alice Burmeister is Mary's daughter-in-law. And I think this person must have been a teacher because it's just so clear. You know how we write things so clearly? And we just do that, right? So it's just so clearly written and easy to read. So I recommend that if you're interested. But back to this story. So she got the book. She did the main central every day. I think it was more than 30 days. I think I actually texted her mom and said, hey, how's your daughter? How's Cynthia doing? You know, and because Cynthia had, unbeknownst to me, I heard the story later, she had been in and out of the emergency room 7 times between August and December. It was heart-related. The doctors could not, they knew it was that much, but they couldn't find anything. They didn't, she couldn't eat, she couldn't sleep, she was about to lose her job, but she couldn't get out of bed. So then 30 or so days later, I texted her and said, how's your daughter doing? And she said, Kate, you are not going to believe this. She is up, she's back at work, she's eating, she's back like 90% to where she was before. And she had, done a couple of other things in the book that she read about. And this is the transformative work here is for us to take that dailiness, right? The dailiness of mindfulness, the daily practice of something like this that harmonizes this. This is like the biggest river in your body. So you want this one to be open and clear and running free. And so I'm going to show you how to do it real quick. Okay, so as I said, don't leave home without it. Okay, so this is on the JSJ website. The first step is to simply take your right hand and put it on top of your head. And you don't have to push on anything JSJ related. So you can just hold things really gently, whatever I tell you. This is easier. I do this right before I go to sleep. It's much easier at night, or when you have something like There. And now your arms are sore already, right? Because I'm talking. Your left hand goes on between your eyebrows. And you hold that. I recommend people holding that for 2 minutes. It says 2 to 5. 2 to 5. 2 minutes is plenty. Just hold it for 2 minutes. Second step, take your left hand and move to the tip of your nose. You hold it for 2 minutes. Third step, center of your breastbone, right? Fourth step, the base of the sternum. Fifth step, pubic bone. And the last step is take the right hand and go to your coccyx. So you can see why this would be easier in bed, right? Either right before you get up out of bed or right before you go to sleep. And this, for me, just keeps me healthy. Like I used to have to call in, you know how it is, right? You get sick, get some bronchial thing, you're out for 3 days, right? I really haven't missed as much work since I've started doing this every day. Every now and then, you know, every now and then. But this is the one that if you are fatigued, if you are just worn, you're just worn out, you want to see something shift forward or move forward, this would be a good one for self-care. Now you can teach this. I've taught this to my students. They're like, Ms. Martin, I went home and I did the main central. And you know, they just are so proud about the fact that they did it. So there are kids that will take to it. You know, it just depends. It just depends. But this is the one that will keep you well. So please try it for 30 days. You try a pill for 30 days, wouldn't you? How many pills have we tried for 30 days and 30 more days and 30 more days? It is, the paper you have. All right. There, in JSJ philosophy, there are 26 what they call safety energy locks. And your chart there shows the locations of the 26 safety energy locks. And this copy is courtesy of David Burmeister. Let me copy this for all of you because you know, he knows teachers teachers need these things, right? So, and he wants to get Jyutsu into the classrooms like I do, you know, just make it part of like the mindfulness movement, really. But anyway, so you'll see the numbers here. I'm going to go through the numbers in just a second. Safety energy locks are like spherical areas more so than a point, right? You know, some of my instructors have said like a 3-inch sphere that sort of lives in that place, wherever it is. And all in JSJ, that's where a lot of energy can get stuck. I mean, just for instance, feel under your collarbone right now. Is it tender? Just poke it, right? So energy is stuck there already. It's just if you really do push on those places, you can kind of feel a tenderness. This energy is getting stuck in these 26 places, which really 52 places, right? Because there's a left side and a right side. So this is, in addition to doing the main central, you can hold these different points on your body, and I'll show you in a second how easy this will be to implement in mindfulness practices. So, safety energy lock 1. On your chart, it shows 1 and then it says thumb. So, I said I was going to come back to the fingers. So, on your thumb, on your picture, your diagram that you're drawing, write the number 1 somewhere near your thumb. And you're going to add some more numbers to that. So the thumb is the finger facilitator for safety energy lock 1. Safety energy lock 1 is located on the inside of your knees. So couldn't you see in your mindfulness practice at school or at home, you're sitting there and I say, oh, just to the student, you don't have to say hold your 1, you can just say, hey, hold the inside of your knees while we're breathing today, right? Or like this, either way, whatever's comfortable, right? Because this is the safety energy lock 1 It's called the general practitioner. It helps with headaches, nausea, abdominal distress, promotes deeper and easier breathing. It's bringing anything stuck up here, it needs to come down. So some people, there's a story in the book that's going around about somebody that was stung by a Portuguese man of war. And all that person did was hold their wands, and that allowed them first to get to the house without having to call 911. And then that's all they did all night was really just hold their wands. It prevented them from having to go to the emergency room and things like that. So very easy to do, right? Their kids can do the crisscross whatever, and you know.
Do you cross
hold
your
their
arms
wands.
to do?
What's that?
Do you cross your arms to do that?
Either way.
Okay.
So what I say, whatever's comfortable, because JSJ, this is supposed to be comfortable. So whatever feels good, that's what you do. Safety Energy Lock 2. So on your ring finger, write the number 2 in your picture. Because Safety Energy Lock 2 is the chiropractor associated with wisdom. The greatest students feel out of sorts, can't make a decision, balances digestion, breathing, reduces tension and stress in the legs and back. It really can do all of these things. And the 2s are located right here. It's at the top of your hip bone in the back. So, you know, have you ever seen runners come across the line, right? Come across, what are they doing? They're doing this because it's going to aid breathing. A lot of times we're already doing what JSJ is saying we should be doing, right? We're already holding, how many of you have been doing this? Or this? Or this? Oh, what's that thing, right? So, all right. Safety Energy Lock 3 is your middle, finger facilitator is your middle finger. Safety Energy Lock 3, you can find it on your chart there. It's located, you know, at the top of your shoulder blade, at that corner that's on the spine side. Do you feel the corner of your shoulder blade right there? Press on that for a second. Is that tender right there? Yeah, so this is the nature's antibiotic. So if you have a cold or a fever or something like that, hold your 3s, lymphatic projects, sore throats. This strengthens the body's immune system. So kids are, now they're always asking me, oh, what do you hold when you're, you know, fill in the blank? When you have a sore throat. Martin, what do you hold? On this one, the 3s are more effective if you first unlock, they say in JSJ, unlock the 15s, which are right here. So if you hold your 15s, or combination of your 15 and your 3, like that, that's a good combination.
Same side.
Same side, yes, same side. So that will help boost your immune system, it unloads tension that you're feeling, and also there are people that have done this and brought the fever down just by doing that rather than taking the aspirin or whatever.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So, are you supposed to use your thumb on point number 1 and your ring finger on point number 2?
So
I'm
no,
not understanding
the,
how the fingers relate to the points.
They are just the finger facilitators for that. So sometimes it's not easy to do, like you're doing something, right? You can't do this. So instead of doing that, you can hold your middle finger. That makes sense? Okay.
So it's not
That makes sense?
Yeah.
You're not like
That's
pressing
okay.
with
You have
your
to push
pinky
your
finger.
No. You're just holding your middle
Okay.
finger. So instead of holding your ones, which is easy to do, right? But
Yeah.
but you can't, like you're teaching, right? You can't. But you can do this while you're teaching, right? Yeah. So. So that just makes it, that's just like a shortcut,
Yeah,
like a quickie. Like a quickie version of taking the time to. All right.
I know which finger that is.
Safety, sorry for that. I don't think I clarified that quite well. 4s, occipital part of your head. Right? How many of you seen someone go like this? You just wanna, right? You just wanna grab those forwards, right? This is great for students that are hyper, that have hyperactivity actually, ADHD, dyslexia, any learning project. It's good for eye projects. It lets the light in. It's the light of knowledge kind of thing. Practitioners will say this is where life enters and exits the body. It's a good one to hold if somebody is passing, for example. So you can also help a sore throat or dry throat, something like that. And if you can't hold your force and you can hold your ring finger, that's what you do. So here I'm teaching my students how to hold their twos, right? You know, like, and they're looking at how they're just looking at me like, oh, they're smart.
It's almost like you have the mom voice going on. I said.
Right. It just looked like that, doesn't it? So that's another thing that, you know, that you bring up, like people cross their arms, right? Sometimes you think, well, that means they're angry, you know, but it could mean something totally different, right? We make judgments about those things. This is patchouli. This is my smallest client. I don't know if you can see patchouli right here. But you can use Jyutsu on other living things, like animals, right? So the 4th grade teacher came to me real quick, said, patchouli is dying. Patchouli's legs are dragging in the back. Can you show patchouli some love? And I was a little hesitant because, you know, patchouli dies. And Ms. Martin was the last one to try to bring the healing to patchouli, you know. Whew. 4th graders can be rough, right? So I said, no, okay, I'll hold patchouli. So I held patchouli's twos, actually, which clears the legs and the hips. So I just held the twos. Where, you know, like this. I'm not kidding you. For like 45 minutes, you know, patchouli pooped a couple times, then you know, and I'm holding patchouli's twos, right? Anyway, long story short, the next morning patchouli's legs were not dragging, and patchouli is still alive. Thank you. Because that could be bad.
Way to go, Dad.
So, if I had more time, I'd talk about different depths of energy and things like that, but I don't, because, yeah, whoa. Okay, safety energy lock 5 is on the inside of your ankle. JSJ works through casts, through shoes, through anything, so it's just that soft part between the ankle bone and the heel, right there. And this one helps us let go of old and embrace the new. So if you have students kind of, you know, they just moved out of their house and they've got a new place to live and they're not feeling good about it, right? Simple. Hearing projects, the mechanics of hearing, and also if you're trying to hear what somebody is really saying, does it go into whole? Releases fear as well. Oh, and the index finger is the finger facilitator for that one. 6 is the arch, pretty much the arch of the foot. Good for balance, equilibrium, discernment, perception. It does clear tension in the hips and back as well. And it helps only our 6s, any foot projects that you might have. And it helps to ground us just by holding our 6s. So you ever have kids that are just kind of woo, 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 right? They're not grounded, or you're feeling that way, right? You can hold your 6s or have the student do that. There are also alternatives to all these because sometimes it's hard to reach certain things, you know. So the book gives you some alternatives for that. Yeah.
You said before you don't really have to like press down or apply a lot of force, but is it okay? Like I'm sitting here with my, I want to press down.
You can, yeah.
Okay
There's no. I'm glad you said that. There are no mistakes in this art. No mistakes, which I love, right? So as a practitioner, that's really great, right? In acupuncture, I can make a lot of mistakes and hurt some people, right? But in this case, no, it's always one. Mary was very much like she will push that point till you want to jump off the table, I guess, kind of person. I didn't meet her, but and then there was another woman who just, a friend of hers who I think she just turned like 101 or something great. She has like butterfly ears, you know. So it's whatever. There's no wrong, no mistakes. The sevens are the bottoms of your big toe, the pad of your toe really, but I just grabbed the big toe. This perfects our life power, clears the mind and head. This can relieve headaches, help temper tantrums, anger, number of things. This emergency sequence does work. So if someone is having a seizure, a student has a seizure, or an adult has a seizure, hold their big toes. Cross your arms, hold their big toes. But of course, after you've followed whatever protocols you need to follow for the school or for wherever, it will calm the seizure down much faster than if you just let them seize. So I don't think anyone would be opposed to you holding their child's toes in that case. The 8s are on the lateral side of your knees, right here. Usually I have my thumb kind of on my kneecap, and the 8 is right in this section right here. And the 8s are cool, easy to hold, right, during a mindful moment. Only the 8s allows for peace and serenity, can help constipation. Hold this side, diarrhea, this side, or opposite side, diarrhea, constipation.
That's what you hold.
Well, here's the cool thing. You can hold, like if you forget, you can hold them both. Your body will take care of it. You don't need to worry. Hold them both. But I did have somebody tell me, well, your ascending colon is on this side of your body, right? So if you want something to go up, then you hold this side. If you want, this is your descending colon. If you want it to come down, you hold that side. Same with cooling the body. Or if your body's not warm enough, you're going to hold this side. And if you want it to cool off, hold that side. Same thing. So right now it's really hot in here, right? So if you want to cool your body, just hold your left 8 for a little bit. See what happens. And the finger facilitator is the index finger for that as well. The 9s are in the back of the body. If you look at your charts again, you can see on the shoulder blade, you got the 3, and then the 10, and then the 9 is at the bottom corner, right? Everybody see it there? Yeah? This is a great one. The end of a cycle. Mary was all into numerology, and if you look at numerology at all and learn about that, the 9 is exactly that. End of one cycle, beginning of another. And this is great for common sense, discernment, clearing your slate, clears the arms, back, hips. You can't reach them very easily. Kids can, but not me. So you can hold your 19s, which if you just put your hands like this, you go like this. Those are your 19s. Which is a little more awkward than we normally fold our arms, right? A little more. But we'll clear that back. And it's great for common sense. I tell my 5th graders this is the one you need to hold every day. Hold that one. Hold your 19s. Hold your 9s. And the thumb is the finger facilitator for that. Safety interlock 10, also on the back, hard to reach, is the for expansion or abundance. So if you have kids who feel they aren't getting enough, they're limited in some way, emotionally, that can help. Helps also with lung congestion and breathing. Strengthens the voice, either the inner voice, we talked about the inner voice today, right? Or the actual physical voice if you have laryngitis or something like that. And to unlock safety energy lock 10 because it's hard to reach. We hold our high 19. This was the 19. This is called the high 19, and the opposite high 1. So you're actually doing this or this. High 19, opposite high 1. Okay, everybody got it? Anytime. You can, I was listening to our speaker today, and I was, just doing different things. Like while you're sitting there watching Netflix or whatever it is you're doing, you might as well be helping yourself, right? Why not?
Can you explain the up arrows and the down arrows?
Yeah, the up is, so remember I said that energy is ace, it ascends the back, descends the front. So this is an ascending safety energy lap. So if anything's stuck down here, it's going to help pull that energy up and around and clear it. So that's just to let you know what type of energy you're working with. So if it's descending energy like the ones, that's going to clear this part, bring it down.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Safety energy lock 11. I walk like this all the time. I don't know. This is where your 11 is, just right here. You rest your hand right here. And you have students that need to let go of some stuff, right? Let go of baggage. So while you're doing your mindful moment, you say, hey, today we're gonna just hold right here. Or you can do both at the same time if you want to. And then this allows for compassion. Opens your hearts. And it also has physical benefits like clearing if you have a neck ache or shoulders are kind of feeling out of sorts. You can hold your 11s. And there's in the book and a little ebook that I wrote, you can take the remember I did the 3-15 combination. The 11 also is a good combination with the 15. 11-15. It's a good combination. Safety energy lap 12. How are we doing? We gotta hurry. We got 26. The 12s are right here. Got the back here. So you can hold like this, hold like this, you can hold like this, whatever feels good to you. This helps with anger or aggression, destructive behavior, emotional, upsets, things like that. Stubbornness, another one that's good for 5th graders to hold. Right? It can also help relieve tension in the neck and arms. All right, I'm going to fly through the next couple, okay? 13, right here. Safety energy lap 13 is right here. Just below the 20. The collarbone is a safety energy lap, but just below that are your 13s. Creativity, unconditional love, tension in the shoulders and neck. This can help depression, childhood hurts, guilt. Helps with transitions in life. We talked about this today a lot. So 13s are really great. In fact, a 13, 14, and a 15. 13s clear everything in the bust line. 14s, which we're going to talk about in a second, clear everything in the waistline. 15s clear everything in the hip line. And that's where most energy is stuck, in those 3 places. Bust, waist, hip. So you could only hold 3 safety energy locks. 13, 14, 15. 14 is right here under your rib cage. You just go like that, or cross your arms if it's more comfortable. I kind of find it more comfortable to do that. This helps with learning challenges, assimilation or absorption of energy. So on days like today when you're trying to drink from a fire hydrant kind of thing, and you can't absorb it all, right? Helps with learning challenges, ADD, autism, all of those things. If you can't sleep at night, hold your 14s. Just see what happens. 15s allow joy and laughter into our lives. How many kids need that today when they are dealing with so much trauma in their lives? So many challenges that some of us never have faced, right? So unlocking this harmonizes legs, knees, ankles, feet, and clear, like I said, anything at 15 will clear the hip and legs as well. So, finger facilitators are all on your chart, but you can write them in there. So I got to fly. Sorry. 16s. This is one I use on teachers most of the time, because they'll come to me and say, Kate, I've got a headache. I like sit down. They put their legs up here. I hold their 16s, which is the outside of your ankle, under the bone. It's hard to do on yourself, right? You can, but it's a little, if you're on a couch maybe or something, you can do that. It's easier if somebody holds your 16s, so if you have a headache, hold somebody's 16s for them and give it about, I don't know, sometimes 1 minute, sometimes 10 minutes, and it will draw that energy out, clear that head. It's also great for clearing out old ideas and creating new. Breaking down the old, change your mind, transformation, so forth. 17, which is the, let's see on your chart, that's the outside of your wrist, so I just grab it like that, or like that. It's this bone right here, on the pinky side. This is great for students who can't find their inner voice. Also called nature's smelling salt, so if somebody faints, you can grab their 17s. That will help wake them up. Obviously, you want to follow emergency protocols first. 18, right here. There's, what do they call that thing? That thumb bed or something, right? This will clear a headache in the back of your head. There's the permanent sleep disorder. So if one of your students can't sleep at night, just say, hey, why don't you try this? Try this. Just see what happens. Might help, or it might be the 14s that will help. Just gotta try it. And 19 we already held, right? That'll clear your 9s and your 19s. It's for leadership, keeping things in balance. So we talked about giving students leadership roles in mindfulness, right? Or in other areas of school. It's a great one for people to hold for that. There's more to these. This is like the tip of the iceberg, right? So I'm giving you this little piece of what the 19s could actually, holding the 19s could actually clear. Right, 20. I'm gonna just go through these really. I'm gonna put them all up here. 20, 21, 22. So 20s are here above your eyebrows, 21 under your cheekbones, 22s under your collarbone, right under that, in that tender spot. So this is all great. The 20s clear the mind, promote healthy brain function, great for common sense and logic. So that's when you see people like, well, what's that? Right? Sharper mental activity. That's what this is for. This 21, if students are self-critical or self-judging, it's a great one for them to hold. It helps them to be free from the limits of self-image, self-judgment. Like, it doesn't matter to me what you think about me anymore, in a good way, in a healthy way, right? Yeah. This can restore energy. I mean, people do this kind of thing all the time, right? And you can open your 19s and 20s. It will also clear the 21s. So whatever feels better for you. 22s, which are right here under your collarbone, helps with happiness, contentment, adaptation. If a student has deep fears or phobias, this is a good one to hold. Great for autism, ADHD, and so forth. Helps students to think more objectively, more reasonably. So take that breath, right, in between things, like we were talking about this morning, right? And then hold your 22s. So here and there, studying for a test. Some of my students are studying for that social studies test. I said, hold your 20s. It's gonna help. Why not? Oh, I'm going over time. Tantrums, 23. Tantrums promotes brain function, helps with OCD, shyness, hyperactivity. You can hold your 15 and 3 to clear this. Okay, leave those up. 24s. 24s on the outside of your foot, toward the top foot, the lateral side, kind of stubbornness, jealousy, revenge, quiet nervous conditions. 25, sit bone. So you can sit on your hands, right? You've heard that. That actually is a thing, right? It actually helps to help students feel calm, but also alert. Wake them up. If you're feeling drowsy, sit on your hands. And 26, give yourself a hug. That's right here. So 26s are right here, but if you just put your, I tell my students, just put your hands in your armpits. Right? Give yourself a hug. And that's your 20. This is the all-inclusive. You could only hold one safety energy lock. Hold your 26. This is an all-inclusive, clears everything. All the things. Recharge all mental and physical functions. Okay, real quick, emergency flows, seizures, hold the 7s, right? Choking, high 1s. Instead of the high 1, hold the high 1s. Which are right here. I have a friend who saved somebody's life by doing that. Headache, we talked about that already. Fainting, the 17s, or the 4s are good for that. Heart attack, left pinky. Can I use your? Yeah. Left pinky, left thoracic, or right on the thoracic 5. Right there. Like that. Now get them to the hospital, but while you're riding there or something. Sunburn, burns, jellyfish stings, palm the calves. So, can I borrow you again? Sure. Can you sit and bench? Yeah. So when you palm somebody's calves, you mind if I touch you? Okay. So you're just really taking your hand, palm of your hand, and putting it on the person's like that. It's so easier to do if you're both on a couch or something. And then you can also do cross your arms and do that. So this works. I did this. I burned my hand the other day, and I palmed my calf for like 30 minutes, and then I was fine. Bleeding, right hand over the wound, left hand on top. Stops bleeding very quickly. Right for red, right hand on red. So if somebody's bleeding, you know, put your latex glove on, of course, and do that. That will stop the bleeding. And toothache, index finger, opposite will help the opposite tooth. And the opposite of the bleeding is to, you want to push the blood in, right? And you want to pull the toxin out. So the left hand will go down, and then the right hand on top of that. And this will be available, right? And if all else fails, if nothing else. Ready? Then you got it. So that's really it. I do have a little PDF that has more in it. So if you want that, just like nominal fee, just to cover costs and things, that time, energy, all that stuff. So if you want to get that, you can. Special thanks to all the people in my life who made this possible, and that's on there as well. Okay, JSJ, do you know? Pretty easy to remember. Did everybody get the yellow pad?
No. It's right here.
The last flow I want to teach you. These are called flows, by the way. Last flow, I told my students the best flow for staying quiet in the hallway. It goes like this. You ready?